So, ladies and gentlemen, the genre is running, and yes, the platform is running. But what I really would like you to take away from this is something more than just running. It's how it's a sport that didn't exist. There was no running in India in 2003 when we conceived and launched the first Mumbai Marathon. And something that didn't exist has not only grown into a great event, but it has also become a movement that has snowballed to the corners of the country. And you all are event creators, many of you are IP owners. I feel if that you can take away from this presentation, that how can any event, whether it's music, whether it's concerts, whether it's sport in any form or shape, how can it transcend its boundaries to become something more meaningful to society than what its defined genre is? So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. And then I have a wonderful panel with my co-panelist, Rima. You can ask all the questions you want. So let's start without further ado. 2004, the scenario in India was very different. India was by nature not a participative sport country. We had a sedentary lifestyle. What changed it was an event called the Tata Mumbai Marathon. It started a sporting socio revolution. We'll see more about it. And it has forever redefined India's sporting fabric. So today there is spectator sport, the cricket, hockey, football that you watch. But the fastest growing dimension is participative sport. Whether it's running, whether it's cycling, whether it's trekking, whether it's pickle, whether it's padel, today, participative sport is growing faster than spectator sport in India. This is spectatorial sport. You watch. Participative sport where you actually live that event. From an event to a movement, shock and awe, inclusive ownership, we'll talk about it. How did this happen? Even before there was anything which was even considered as a running revolution in India, we anchored 5 pillars or seeds into the ground. Boost to Indian athletics. We said our event should stand for something that benefits Indian athletics. International pride and prestige. It must bring pride and prestige to the host city. A philanthropy platform. People should run for a cause. Health and fitness, which is obvious, and social harmony. Now, it's very easy to talk about this in today's context when all of it has manifested. You must remember in 2003 when we actually did this, there was none of this existing in the country. People didn't run. Forget running for a cause. And this whole concept of getting up early in the morning, training for months for something didn't exist. And that's when something didn't exist, we set these 5 pillars into the ground. You know, if you ever want a statement where we all know that if you see something, you believe it, we all live by that. But if you ever want something where you believe enough in something and the universe will make sure you see it, it is this running revolution in India. Today, it's the fastest growing sport. From about 2 events in the country, there are 800 timed races across India today. Every corner of India has a running event. And that is something which is really called a revolution when you can transcend something that you do. Today, there are 800 running events which are timed, about another 800 running events which are non-timed. There must be 800 different promoters in the country doing this. The ecosystem, we'll come to that. Very interesting. 1,000 new runners lace up each day and join this running revolution. We are directly shaping the lives of 50 million individuals today. 30% of these runners are women. And you're going to hear more of that from my friend Rima, who actually founded the Pinkathon movement and actually has done tremendous work in that. Today, 30% of runners in India are women, something which is truly phenomenal, something which has truly empowered women in so many different ways. 800 run clubs. And India is the proud host of 4 gold label events. The Tata Mumbai Marathon, the Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon, the TCS World 10K Bangalore, and the Tata Steel Kolkata World 25K. And you'll see this name Tata echoed across not just India but the world. And I'm delighted to have in the audience Tata Consultancy Services. My friend Jinesh is here, Aditi is here. Can you please stand up and take a bow? It's something incredible that the biggest running events in the world today fly the Tata flag. And that's a matter of great pride for us in India. We've really taken, Tatas were not into running. In 2008, they joined the Mumbai Marathon as associate sponsor. Standard Chartered was the title sponsor. Today, whether it's Mumbai, London, New York, Sydney, Amsterdam, and Jinesh and Aditi will tell you more, they are the title sponsors. It's such a matter of pride to see the Indian flag on these major world events. So TCS, hats off to you. I don't think there's any other promoter in the world today that has 4 gold label events under its belt. And that is a matter of great pride for India. This is something we can truly applaud. A country that didn't run has 4 gold label events today happening each and every year. What is this running ecosystem? Some of you may find it interesting to note it's $450 million every year. It's the running ecosystem. And I'd like to take your attention to line number 2 on your screen, which says sponsorship. 800 crores of sponsorship come into the running ecosystem each year. That's more than the Premier Kabaddi League, more than Indian Soccer League put together. It's fragmented across the races, but that's the kind of corporate funding that comes into running. So I think after cricket and the IPL, the second largest ecosystem for sport in India in terms of corporate sponsorship or any other parameter that you may have is running, and very few people know this. Plus, 24% growth every year. And it's just for the next 10 years going to keep growing at this phenomenal rate. I don't know how many of you are aware, there are 140 million Indians who have downloaded a health app, a health and fitness tracker on their phone. Why is this figure interesting? If you remember the slide previous to this, I don't know whether we can go back on this. 2.6 million people running, 2.6 million people running has created a $450 million ecosystem. What is the headroom that we have? 140 million people have downloaded a fitness app. We are 2.6 million active runners in the country. What happens if this number hits 10 million, 20 million active runners? What can you even imagine what will happen to that ecosystem of health and fitness, sporting apparel, gyms, nutrition? That is the potential that we are seeing in this country today. So a few facts, distance running landscape today. 1,000 new, sorry, I'm seeing something keeping on going back, so I don't know what you all are seeing out there. 1,000 new runners lace up each. Is it going back for you guys as well? Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, hope that holds. 2 distance running events to 1,700 plus, 800 of them time. 100 million Indians have downloaded a fitness app. All this you've just heard. 30% participation women. We'll come to charity and 4 gold label events in India alone. Has it affected Indian athletics? Ram Singh Yadav, the first Indian athlete to qualify for the London Olympics, courtesy of his timing at TMM 2012. Gopi T, the first Indian athlete to win the Asian Marathon Championship. Avinash Sable, Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon course record holder, is today a global name to contend with in athletics. And Parul Chowdhury is also qualified for the World Championships in Tokyo. We must remember that in athletics, which has 28 different disciplines, distance running was at the bottom of the food chain. That has changed today. There are 1,000 athletes in distance running making a living today. And that is something phenomenal when we consider that they were just not known in this country. And I don't know how many hundreds of them are women. Okay, I think the slide is doing its own number. Millions of lives impacted. Is this the next slide? Because okay. It's changing on its own, I think. Okay. I think there's an AV here. Can we play that AV? Is there an AV here? Can we play that AV?
Well, it began literally 10 years back. I started with running the Dream Run.
I watched the entire marathon live on DD. I kept repeating to myself, if I ever move to Bombay, if I've come to Bombay, I'm going to run the marathons.
2004. 2008.
People's elusive the previous day.
I'm looking at the clock in bed, just tick by.
What if I don't wake up with the alarm? A silent prayer.
Is today going to be a day when more people motivate others down the line?
Prayer that I don't disappoint my daughter and my wife.
And then it begins. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, guys. Let's do it.
Sudden burst of excitement.
There's like a huge gale force of runners who just push you along, and it's the first kilometer you're not even running.
Number 256, come on, buck up. Bib number 119, you're lagging behind. Why are you walking? Start running. Almost like scolding you.
That's not the end of the video. I think we can fast forward. People may not want to sit through the whole thing again.
Well, it began literally 10 years back. I started
to
with
save time, we'll go ahead because people may not want to sit through the video again. The slides are doing its own number. Can it be controlled from here, please? So actually, it's a beautiful message in that, and I'll share the story behind the message. It's okay, we can watch the video later. So when we moved from Standard Chartered, we had to move out of Standard Chartered Bank after 14 years. And the issue was they had a major issue globally. Every head rolled, including Peter Sands, the chief executive in London, his head rolled. And suddenly we had to find a new sponsor for the Mumbai Marathon. And Chandrasekharan sir, the Tata Sons chairman, had told me he was the associate sponsor for 8 years. He had told me one thing. He said, the day Standard Chartered moves, don't go anywhere else. Don't do any, what is the price? Come to me. And we never expected Standard Chartered to move. And he kept his word. 7 years he was the associate sponsor. And suddenly they had to move one day. So I am left with a situation that I have to go to him, the chairman of Tata Sons. And I also I know the property has become very valuable since Standard Chartered took it over. And I want more money for it. And what do I tell him? If I say anything, there's 3.5 hours of live telecast. There are 50,000 people running. He'll say, I know. I've been your associate sponsor for 7 years. And I realized that there's nothing in my anvil that I can tell him that will move the needle for him. So we actually went back on the streets, and that's the video we were showcasing here. We went to the streets of Mumbai and started asking people, why do you run? Why did you run, sir? So they would say, what do you mean, why do I run? I get to run in the middle of Marine Drive. I can't do that even on a Sunday. I feel like a king. Why do I run? Anil Ambani is running on my friend. John Abraham is waving. Amitabh Bachchan is maybe at the start line. Why do I run? Of course I run because of all this. We said, oh, wonderful, wonderful. You run because of Amitabh Bachchan, John Abraham, Anil Ambani. Why do you run the second year? What do you mean, why do you run the second year? Look at this, I'm supporting a cause. Why do you run the third year? Why have you run the 10th time? Now it can't be Marine Drive, Anil Ambani, John Abraham. Why are you running the 10th time the Mumbai Marathon? And there was actual silence. And they looked inside and they said, I run the Mumbai Marathon because it makes me better. So we said, really? Better what? They said, a better father, a better brother, a better colleague at work, a better human being in society. This is what they said. And that's when I knew I had my sponsorship pitch. I went to the chairman of Tata Sons with this. I said, this is why you sponsor Mumbai Marathon. Not because you need publicity or we need publicity, or because it makes you better. And in 15 minutes, the chairman and me agreed to a figure. And now for the last 7 years, they've been the title sponsors of the Mumbai Marathon. So I'm glad the video didn't work. I could tell you this little side story. Sorry, are you good with the clicker? Yeah, good. So these are some of the corporate people on the start line. I'm sure you know them, so I won't bore you with that. Yes, philanthropy. We are a running event. We make people run. As a result of that, they get fitter and better and healthier, and they're better people. Nobody told us that you have to raise philanthropy at the back of your run. In any case, they had labeled us two brothers, Anil, my elder brother, and me, who actually dreamt of this. They'd labeled us as completely mad. And now we said people should run for a cause. We raised 41 lakhs in year one of the Mumbai Marathon. We partnered an NGO called Give India. We had a wonderful democratic model where anybody could run for a cause close to their heart. We did not dictate which cause you should run for. And we raised 41 lakhs in year one, and I was chuffed. Because at that time, the US dollar was about 41 or 42 to the Indian rupee. And I said, we have raised 100,000 US dollars in a sport that did not exist till a year ago. I was so thrilled you can't imagine. The beauty of a movement, and that's what I want you to take out of this presentation. It's not about how great Mumbai Marathon is or how great we are. It's how you can build a movement out of nothing. That model that we instituted, that giving up of power, London today decides, you run for homeless, you run for cancer. You want to take part, you run. We said anybody can run for a cause close to their heart. That 41 lakhs today has reached 630 crores in funds raised. Procam is on target to reach to in a year's time to raise 100 crores for philanthropy every single year. 1,500 plus NGOs benefit each year. Many of them don't run, so it's not about running anymore. They see the platform as something transparent, positive, ethical. They see this platform as something that they can give back to society from. Today, we've crossed 630.56 crores of tracked funds for charity from that 41 lakhs that we started 20 years ago. Millions of lives transformed. That money has gone into various things. I won't bore you with that. 250-bed multi-speciality hospital, children fighting cancer, women and girls benefiting through awareness and administration of HPV vaccination. That money has been used across different causes and roles. We said this is not enough. They said, are you inclusive? We said, of course we are inclusive. What does this word inclusion mean to you all? Tomorrow, if I had just left it, if Procam had left it to say that anybody with a disability can also participate, we are inclusive. We said no. People with a disability need their own race, need their own start, their own finish. And thus, in each of our marathons, there's something called Champions with Disability, which is a race within a race. And it's dedicated to people who have physical disabilities. Can we go one step further? We tied up with Adventures Beyond Barriers Foundation, wonderful people doing amazing work. Today, at every marathon, there are hundreds of people that are married to CXOs. Running being a sport that you cannot just turn up and do it on that day, these CXOs run with these people with disabilities, train with them, and then run the final race with them. What has happened? These people have started landing up jobs. Corporates are making reservation quotas for people with disabilities in their organization. So yes, inclusion, not just in namesake, but actually taking the inclusion frontier forward. We hear Coldplay numbers all the time, and it's fascinating, and Coldplay has done a fabulous job. They're one of the greatest bands in the world. Each event of ours brings in people from around the country and around the world to that city. What does it mean in dollars and cents for the local economy? This is the socio-economic health impact of 1 year of ProCam's events. Tata Mumbai Marathon 2025, we reached 530 crores of socio-economic impact. Delhi at 192, TCS World 10K at 107, and Tata Steel Kolkata 25K 48 crores. 877 crores of socio-economic impact in 2024-2025. Ladies and gentlemen, Coldplay is a big name. We hear that numbers being bandied about, but this is what's happening homegrown in India. And that's something that each of you can take great pride in. This year, we started this project last year. We're going to plant 12,000 trees in Sholapur on the back of the Tata Mumbai Marathon. Why are we planting trees in Sholapur? If we have to plant trees, which is not part of a marathon remit, then you should plant it in Mumbai. Because we realized that we do not need to plant trees in Mumbai. Sholapur needs it more. Where am I coming from? If you choose to expand the boundaries of your chosen event or your chosen genre, you have to think as to what the need in society is. This year, in just the second edition of the TMM Green Initiative, we'll be planting 12,000 trees, 11,663 trees. And are we just planting trees? It took us 2 years to put this map in place. It's called it is a wonderful word for it. It's agroforestry. So you go to a farmer in Sholapur and he's growing his crop. He's not going to let you plant trees. He needs to grow his crop. So we decided there's a way of doing it whereby we can plant certain trees on the outskirts of his plot and in a certain diamond formation, they call it, on his plot. These are fruit-bearing trees. If he nurtures the trees, for 3 years, we will look after it. Whether it's water, whether it's nurturing, for 3 years, we take the responsibility. After 3 years, he takes the responsibility to nurture the tree. He will have fruit-bearing trees along with his crop on his acreage. So this is not planting trees in the traditional sense of getting seeds done and planting trees and done some geotagging and that's done. We are working with the farmers thanks to United Way Mumbai, and that's collaboration, whereby they are planting trees on acreage that they own and they're growing crops because they want fruits and they can have a supplemental income in time to come. Brands leverage the platform to achieve marketing and social objectives. You know that. Everybody does 360-degree marketing. The marathon does lend itself because it's participative sport to doing that. Vedanta is the title sponsor. They decided that for every kilometer that is run from start of launch to the finish line, which is on race day, they will give 1 kilometer, they'll give 1 meal to 1 hungry child through the Nandgarh project. This year the target is 10 million meals to be given between the start of the Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon in July and the D-Day in October. So along with all the other benefits you see this year, the target is to give 10 million meals for every 10, they're expecting 10 million kilometers to be run from start to finish this year, 2025. IDFC First Bank, they said if you run a 10K under 60 minutes, we contribute 1,000 rupees to an NGO. If you run under 60 minutes and you're a customer of the bank, we contribute 2,000 rupees. Just throwing some ideas out there for you guys as to how we are encouraging our partners to do just more and more and more than just take mileage out of the event and their association. Bisleri, we said everybody knows the world's greatest athletes. People don't know our athletes. And that's true. That's Sanjeevani Jadhav. She's won multiple races. That's Kiran Matre. What does Bisleri do? Whichever city the event is coming to, for that city, for that whole month of the event, the labels of their Bisleri bottles change and they carry the Indian athlete winners of that event. They don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. We do this because one of the pillars of the marathon is to benefit Indian athletics. And it's true, we don't know our athletes. So Bangalore, this is a Bangalore label. Sanjeevani Jadhav is a winner of the Bangalore event multiple times. And that's the two other Kiran Matre, etc., who have won the Bangalore event. The entire Karnataka, for that 1 month of April, carried Bisleri with these labels. Sony is a network. We all have live television. Sony carries this event live across the Pan-Asian footprint. Media. So yes, after every event, we submit something called a media evaluation report. Can anyone guess as to what the media evaluation for 1 year of just ProCam events? There are 800 events in the country. We're just talking 4 ProCam events. Can anyone take a guess? The media evaluation done by an independent third party, 70 cities, 250 media houses reported, 700 accredited media, 8,000 articles across print, online and television. A third-party evaluation of the earned media from the 4 ProCam events, we'll come to it, and I'll come back to this slide maybe, these are the figures for each city, and the total media ROI for 1 year was 1,800 crores. I'll go back 1 or 2 slides. If you check on Meta, Meta has this community, marathon community on Facebook. The 4 of our events are in the top 10 marathon communities of the world, and that includes London, New York, etc. Online figures, virtual runs. What is virtual runs? Today you can't get into Mumbai Marathon because there are 60,000 people on the start line. That's the maximum I can hold. We started doing people can run via the app in any city of their choice from a geographic location of their choice. This is not free. People pay for that. We started this in TMM 2020, and by now 80,000 people have used our app and run virtually. This can grow exponentially for any marathon promoter, and of course you all are doing it for whatever IPs you all own already. This is the new start line, and I'll end. I want to get into my session with Rima and Thomas, so I'll end very quickly, and then after that session you all can ask questions. And we'll end with the words of the man who brought Tatas into running, and we'll end with the words of somebody who I have great admiration and respect for, and who has been the backbone of the running revolution in India in many ways.
I have run marathons all over the world. The Tata Mumbai Marathon is the first marathon that I ran in 2008 that grew into me and pushed me towards sponsoring marathons and taking part in marathons all over the world. This sowed the seed for our sponsorship all over the world, be it Amsterdam, be it New York, be it Boston, be it London, and recently be it Sydney. Today, running has become a culture in our company, TCS and the Tata Group. Over 250,000 people have taken up to running, and many of them run half marathons and full marathons. Since its inception in 2004, It is the relentless effort of Anil and Vivek that has built this huge platform for the running community. It has inspired many Indians to take up fitness and running. It is a social event. It brings people together. It promotes peace. It promotes harmony. It promotes togetherness. The whole city comes to life. And the Tata Mumbai Marathon is also the largest sporting philanthropic event in this country. When you are all getting ready to run and participate either as a runner or as a spectator or just being there to enjoy the whole event.
Thank you so much. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much for being there today. And thank you, Shows of India.